I don't see slushies in them. I guess now they all have like alcoholic slushies. You know, like
yeah. Well, and what do we call them? They're not. They're slushies, but we call them something different. Whatever they're called, depending on where you are. Yeah,
ices.
Ices. There we go. There we go.
With the polar bear on the cup.
Yep.
What about the ones that were the when I was a kid, you go get them at the store and you made your own? It had like you put a couple squirts of the juice of the flavoring in the cup, and then in the middle there was the thing you pulled out. Like the water and the ice would come out the middle. You know, slush puppy.
Oh,
you remember those?
No, we didn't have slush puppies. Everything already came pre-mixed. We would go.
So it was revolutionary. You could like make your own.
Oh, that turned up. I would do Austin Peay football camp. And then after football camp, my parents were enrolled at Austin Peay. I got to go for free. After the camp, we run across the street to the gas station. And at the time, they had two flavors. They had Coke and they had the red flavor. Yeah. And that was it. Now.
Could you mix those sometimes?
Yeah, you can mix and match. Yeah. There's a Dodgers in Jackson. And I think all Dodgers have this. But my favorite one is in Jackson, Tennessee. And it has 15 to 20 different icy flavors.
Wow.
And I just get the biggest cup I can and layer it off, all 20 flavors. Give it to me. Let's get it going. Good icy is, this time of the year, it hits.
Yeah.
It does. Sonic has good slushies.
Icy machines are always broken though when you
really.
I mean, a lot of times you go to the gas station and you're like,
well,
you know, they might have like 4 flavors and one works.
Yeah,
you know, like
Well, that's the thing, because in Jackson at that Dodgers, it's 15 to 20 machines. Yeah. Inevitably, 5 or 6 of them are down, but you still have 12 to play with.
That's what Buc-ee's needs to add, like a icy selection.
They don't have that?
I don't think so. I think that's just, they have like a fountain, you know.
Yeah, a drink fountain.
Smorgasbord with like 25 flavors. And they have coffee, they have iced coffee, but they need like a little section of frozen
Especially
drinks.
being in the South.
Yeah.
People need their slushies. I need my slushie. You watched the game last night?
I did. I watched the Braves and
How'd the Braves end up?
They won and they killed them last night. They got...
Who'd they play?
The Cubs. Okay. They lost in extra innings 2 nights ago. But finally the bats kind of woke up.
Turn up. Here we go, Lane.
Let's do it.
Let's set this show up.
Let's set the show up. Hey, guys. Jessica's not here. So I found the keys. I let myself in this morning. CJ was already here. So we're going to do a show. And we're going to have fun today. We're going to talk NBA. We're going to talk other stories from around sports. We're going to draft the best ballpark foods. I'm tired of watching CJ and Jessica have these failed drafts where somebody forgets an obvious #1 pick. So we're going to draft ballpark foods. And then it's Thursday, so that means, of course, Theater Thursday. I don't really know what that means. But we're going to talk about movies and, I guess, theater things. Normally, Jessica would talk about the theater, but she ain't here. So we'll talk about movies and other things we're watching. And we're going to have fun. Come hang out. I'll be in the chat. Let's talk. How about those Timberwolves? They didn't bring their ass. See you in a minute.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by April 30th. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Nate Bargatze, the Be Funny Tour.
I mean, Chuck E. Cheese is rough. I don't know if you've been there in a while. They look like they're trying to go to business and they can't.
All new material.
They filed for bankruptcy and they're still open. They called Blockbuster and they're like, how do you get out? We want out.
Nate Bargatze. Friday, May 31st, FedEx Forum. Tickets available at FedEx Forum box office or Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Outback Presents. Nate Bargatze, the Be Funny Tour.
Justin Timberlake. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up JustinTimberlake.com.
Heart Royal Flush Tour 2024. November 14th, FedEx Forum. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guests. Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Heart with Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Produced by AEG Presents.
Lionel Richie. And Earth, Wind, and Fire. Memphis. You're invited to sing a song all night long. For the first time ever, Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Together in one magical night you don't want to miss. FedEx Forum, May 29th. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, ay. Let's have a little fun now. Ay. I wanna let it all out. Ay. That's what it's all about. Ay. Ay. 'Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, y'all? Welcome into the Jessica Benson Show here on Grind City Media. Jessica's not here. I don't know where she is, actually. I'm Lang Whitaker. I'm hosting for Jessica, but as always, CJ Hurt is here.
Yo!
What's up, man?
How's it going?
I'm doing pretty well.
What's up? What's up?
How are you? You're
I'm
good?
all right. I'm
Yep.
good. It's
Jessica's gone for 2 days.
Jessica's on for 2 days, so anything goes.
Yeah, we can let the kids in charge.
Let's get it. Kickball is once again canceled this week, Lang.
Because of the weather?
Yeah, yeah.
I was
It's
supposed to play
rain.
golf yesterday morning with some business leaders in the city of Memphis. I got invited to a country club to play golf.
Nice.
Which for me, that's kind of highfalutin.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday night, they texted and they were like, "Hey, we're going to cancel. Weather's going to be bad." We were supposed to play at like 9 a.m. yesterday. Turned out the weather was great all morning, and then yesterday afternoon it
Yep,
was
that's
terrible.
when it
So
came
I
through.
could have played, but I missed my chance to hobnob with the business people.
Rub elbows. Y'all
Yeah.
not like making it up?
I don't know.
Rescheduling
No one's
it?
texted. I don't want to be the one to like be like, "Hey guys, what happened? I thought we were gonna play some golf." So I'm just kind of sitting this one out.
Okay.
But I'm waiting for one of them to take the lead. Maybe that's why I'm not a business leader, because
That's why.
I'm not like jumping out there.
Got to grab that bull.
Make it happen.
Grab that bull by the horn.
So how dry does it have to be to play kickball?
The field, it's just a
The
city
mud?
field. It's muddy.
Yeah.
And we don't have what Major League Baseball has, right? Nobody's running the
ground's
tarp.
crew.
Nobody's running the tarp on the field. Nobody's getting the rakes out. So if the water's just standing, it just stands. And I think we're supposed to get some more rain, a little bit more today.
I was actually looking this week just for golf purposes, and it looks like rain every day from now till like Sunday. A little bit of rain every day from now. So I guess it keeps it cool, but it also keeps it gross outside, which is not fun.
Yeah,
So-
and it doesn't keep it that cool because it's muggy. It's
I
sweat
know.
towel season. It's
Yeah.
muggy outside. Like walk outside and I immediately start sweating.
Yeah.
So
You got your sweat towel on already.
Yeah.
All right. Sports night last night, anything good besides the NBA? I mean, I watched the Braves game, but I think the start of the Western Conference Finals was probably the biggest deal last night. The Timberwolves at home against the Dallas Mavericks after the Timberwolves shocked the world. I guess Dallas was a surprising advancer, too, in the last round of the playoffs. But T-Wolves Dallas got to face off for game one last night, and the Mavericks took game one on the road, took home court from the Minnesota Timberwolves, got a win. Final score is 108-105. But it was a pretty close game. T-Wolves had the lead most of the game. Dallas kind of hanging around. And then in the fourth quarter, Luka went Luka and down the stretch was able to seal it off, get the win. Luka finished with 33 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Kyrie had 30. Kyrie actually went to work in the first quarter and was kind of carried them early in the game.
Yeah, they switched roles.
Yeah.
It
was cool. Kyrie's the closer.
Yeah, in the last series, Kyrie was the closer.
Yeah.
Luka gets you to the fourth quarter, and then Kyrie closes the door on you. Yesterday, Kyrie got you to the fourth quarter, and then Luka went on a 7-0 scoring run by himself, had 15 points in that quarter, handful of assists as well, was making a couple of good defensive stops also, and was really the one to bring things home for the Mavs. And that's why they went out and got Kyrie. I think they had a Kyrie and Jalen Brunson and didn't believe in Jalen Brunson. It was like, hey, we're going to go try and get a more proven thing. And they got Kyrie. And now Luka has somebody who takes some of that scoring load off of him. And I think that allows him to attempt to play defense every now and then.
I think Kyrie's a better Jalen Brunson.
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
I think he is.
I'm not going to push back on that. But I do think they kind of had Jalen Brunson and kind of had what Kyrie is giving in Jalen Brunson, and instead of having to give up pieces and assets to go out there and get Kyrie, I think it would have been a better move, a more prudent move for them in that front office to keep Brunson, pay Brunson, and then keep the group around.
I think he's younger, right? I guess. Is he younger than Kyrie?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Like, what's the age difference?
Way
It can't be
younger
that.
than Kyrie. Kyrie's 33, 34?
Jalen Brunson's 27.
Yeah. He's significantly younger than Kyrie.
Like, how much younger, though? 27?
7 years.
32. 5 years.
5 years.
All right.
5
But
years.
Kyrie also hasn't played for like multiple years in that during the COVID thing when he couldn't play.
Yeah.
When he was in college, he didn't play. He only played 12 games or whatever. Like, might not have as many miles on the tires as Brunson.
Maybe.
Either way, I was impressed with the way they played. I was watching most of that game last night. I was thinking, man, Dallas just needs like one more person, like one more guy to get you buckets. And I don't think they have that person on the roster right now. It was interesting, I thought, to see them go down the stretch. They had that lineup with Tim Hardaway Jr. in there in the fourth quarter. He didn't play a lot in the first half, and I didn't see him a lot in the last series. But they were kind of trying to find somebody who could give you something, and he did. Gafford was really good for them. Lively was good. They were kind of swapping those guys out. It's funny, the plus-minus stat. I was just looking. Gafford was a minus 15 last night. So they lost by 15 points when he was on the court, but I also felt like he made so many plays that kind of kept them in the game in the moment while he was out there.
Yeah,
so.
you got to contextualize plus minuses. Gafford's out there with the starters, whereas Lively is coming in, and one of those bigs, Rudy
Lively's
Gobert,
plus 19.
is off of the court. So some of that is like, hey, who are you on the court with? But I'm with you on the Gafford thing. That's why plus minus is fine at times, but you can't lean all the way on it. I'm with you on Gafford. He made plays. He made winning plays when they needed it, and they just need a big body to be down there as a deterrent for lobs to Gobert and lobs to Karl Anthony Towns, and he did that. He had a couple good finishes around the rim, and he's active. One of the things I love the most about Gafford and why we talked about that Dallas front office, the decision to get Kyrie. I think that one of the best moves made on the fringes during the trade deadline, we didn't talk about it a whole lot, but going out there and grabbing Gafford and P.J. Washington, specifically Gafford, right? He's so active on the glass. He's such a good rebounder and so good at getting a hand on the ball on the offensive side to get you extra possessions. And he did that a handful of times, which really helped the Mavericks out.
Especially because the Mavericks couldn't hit a three last night. They ended up making 6 for the game, and they just couldn't get one to go.
Who made that? Luka made 3.
Luka made a couple.
But he's 3 of 10.
Yeah.
So
and when
that
Luka
into
misses a 3, it is a brick.
Oh, boy.
Man,
boy.
I mean, sometimes he was hitting those contested long threes like in half court, but then when he would miss, you'd have to worry about that backboard because they were like clanging off the backboard.
Yeah, he missed and my house shook. I was like, oh, my gosh, that's a bad
They
brick.
finished 6 for 25 on threes. The T-Wolves hit 18 for 49, so they shot 36% on threes. But the points in the paint, I mean, the Mavericks killed them 62-38, and they just went to the mid-range over and over. Like, Luka was just getting midi every single time because T-Wolves kept playing, and Stan Van Gundy pointed out, T-Wolves kept playing this drop coverage where, I mean, I think if you're Dallas, anytime you can put Rudy Gobert in a situation where he has to make a decision, that's probably a good thing, right? Like try to get Gobert as involved as you can in the decision-making, which is going to make him pause, neutralize him a little bit, and gives Luka a chance to dictate how these things work out. Luka just over and over again put him in that pick and roll and waited till he dropped, hit the mid range, took what was there.
And then if he comes up, then they're throwing the lob. I think that when the Timberwolves blitzed the Mavericks, when they said, okay, screw it, just go out there on the screen, double team, make them give the ball up, putting the ball in Lively's hand or in Gafford's hand, and then making them become the playmakers. That's the way I would imagine the Timberwolves go about it for the next game, because that's when they were most successful. You can't drop. You can't come all the way up on Luka or Kyrie. Because they're two dynamic scorers and they're two dynamic passers as well. You've got to make somebody else on that team make a play. I think they have enough in this series to get by the Timberwolves, but it's not much. It's not much. And if you're saying that the other playmaker has to be Tim Hardaway Jr. or Dante Exum or P.J. Washington, I would much rather them. We saw P.J. Washington light it up from the corner and light it up from three in the last series, but I would much rather one of them have to be the ones to beat me as opposed to Luka and Kyrie, because I know Luka and Kyrie can. I'm not sure anybody else can. If they do, fine. But I'll take my chances with somebody else.
We spent the last 3 weeks talking about how Anthony Edwards is the next Michael Jordan. We've heard it. All these graphics.
People were saying that.
He's funny. He's great. He's all these things. He made 6 shots again last night, second game in a row. 6 for 24 in that game 7, and then last night 6 for 16, 5 for 12 on threes. Finished with 19 points. He's a good defender, engaged, plays hard.
Good defender?
Well, Jessica and I were talking about this off the air yesterday. She was talking about how he's such a great defender. And I was like, well, yeah, but he has Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns behind him. Like, if you're a wing defender, you can gamble like crazy because you know somebody's got your back. Like, if the guy gets by you, the shot's getting blocked. And it gives you a little more leeway, I guess, a little more license to go out there and try and make things happen on the defensive end. I thought he's fine. He's a good player, great player. I'd say great, but I don't know if he's like an all-time great yet.
No, we know he's not an all-time great yet. No, people are saying that he is, projecting what he may be down the line. Right now, he's not. He may, though. He may very well, and it's looking like it's kind of likely that he'll be remembered as one of the better players, one of the best players of this generation, and maybe one of the all-time greats. But let him do it first. What he is right now is still kind of young, still somebody who is struggling some to figure out how best to attack on the offensive side of the ball, game in, game out in the playoffs, and somebody who, while he is an engaged defender, he's not particularly good. But the first step to being a good defender is wanting to be a defender, right? See James Harden for an example.
Kyrie Kyrie was a terrible defender for a lot of his career, and then this season he's actually been pretty good, especially like in the playoffs.
I think you could say the same thing for Luka, and my thought on Luka is with Kyrie there, Luka doesn't have to carry all of the load offensively for the entire game. He can pass some of that load off to Kyrie. He feels comfortable passing some of that load off to Kyrie, so that makes him an engaged defender. Right. And that's all you need from him. That's all you need from some of these dudes, right? And I understand when you're supposed to score or get buckets for other people, it's hard to do that and be a great defender, be engaged on the defensive end. And we're seeing Luka and Kyrie be engaged in ways we haven't seen them before, especially, I'm going to say, post-trade deadline when Gafford came through and Lively went to the bench, right? Now they've got 2 dudes behind them now, so they can get out there and do a little bit more. On the topic of Anthony Edwards, because that's where we started at, he is engaged on the defensive end, but come on, man. He can't stay in front of Kyrie. Kyrie can get wherever he wants to, whenever he wants to against Anthony Edwards or whomever the Timberwolves are going to throw out there, and let's say throw McDaniels over there, and then, hey, what are you going to do about Luka? He's going to get wherever he can get or wants to get to on the court and get buckets and make plays for others. Both of those 2 are so good finishing around the rim also that it kind of neutralizes some of that Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns link, just a tad. And they'll find a way to creatively, nobody has, maybe Ja. Ja might be the only one in the NBA with the assortment of finishes around the rim like Kyrie Irving has. So the Timberwolves have some things that they need to figure out. One of them might be, hey, back off a little bit on Kyrie, Anthony. Just keep him in front of you. Contest threes. Contest jump shots. Contest threes. Don't let him get by you. If he gets by you, we're in trouble.
I think teams are so locked in now on guarding the three-point line and trying to run guys off the three-point line. You're guarding the three-point line and the rim. And the Mavericks just said, all right, we'll take what's left. And they took all that mid-range. And
because they have two good mid-range
and
guys.
also because they couldn't score. They couldn't hit a three. Like, that was part of it. They couldn't make a shot. All the talk about Anthony Edwards and Michael Jordan and stuff, it always makes me laugh because Anthony Edwards is a great scorer and all that. Michael Jordan was first-team all-defense 9 times in his career. Like, he was an elite defender, one of the 5 best defenders in the NBA for a decade. Like, he was great. All-time great defender, and until we're never going to see someone again who can score like that and defend like that. I don't think. Anyway, talking about how good all these people are and all this stuff, we could talk about the All-NBA teams, which got announced yesterday. First team, second team, third team got announced, and it really has an effect on these guys now because contracts kick in. I think we had a graphic here for first team All-NBA was Jokic, and Jokic made his 6th selection in a row. Luka, Shea are the guards. Jokic at center. Giannis, Tatum at the forward spots. Are we upset about any of these people? I don't think so.
No, I don't. Listen, we do these awards, and I understand why we do these awards. You could maybe put somebody else in there from the second team, maybe the third team. But that is a good first team. I don't think they got anything drastically wrong.
I don't either. Second team had Jalen Brunson, Anthony Davis, Durant, Anthony Edwards, Kawhi. Third team, do we have that one? Booker, Halliburton, Curry, LeBron, Sabonis. Okay, I'm fine with all these. I don't have any real beef.
Sabonis didn't make All-Star, right? I don't think Sabonis was an All-Star this year.
He was last year. I don't know if he was this year.
He wasn't this year.
But the All-NBA teams are by position, so you have to have a center.
Well, so is All-Star to a certain extent.
No, just the starters.
Okay.
Yeah, the bench is just like
just whoever
whatever.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so hats off to Sabonis for making the All-NBA team.
Yeah, well, all this matters only because contracts are tied to how many All-NBA teams you make, and extensions are tied to it. So look at this: Tyrese Halliburton and Anthony Edwards. If they have their rookie extension without making the All-NBA team, it's a $200 million extension. With the All-NBA, they're both going to get paid like crazy next year or whenever that kicks in, 2024, 25. And then there was another one, and I think we have it too, for Luka, who, because he's made now several All-NBA teams, his goes through the roof. He can make $60 million, I think.
Yeah, I'm not. So
Here it is. Lucas will start at $60 million. In 2030-31, he could make $78 million for the season.
Yeah, I'm not. You were in that text thread with everybody. Scott Zachary sent the graphic of top 15 highest paid players in the NBA, and only one of them is left. Gobert is the only one left. I'm not sure is he worth it? Absolutely. He's worth that and then some. But if you're telling me I have a salary cap in this sport, I'm not sure if anybody is worth $70 million a year. And that's not a slight to what he is on the court, because they're very limited without him. Even hobbled, even bloody knee, bad knees, bad back and all. Luka Doncic out there is instrumental to their success. But $70 million is a lot.
It's really like a semantics thing, though. Like, they should just say Luka is going to get 35% of the cap.
35% of the cap for
which
one
turns
dude
out to be $70 million or whatever it is. But it just sounds a lot more palatable, I think, to the general public if you say this guy's getting 22%.
Well,
this guy gets 27%. This guy gets 35%.
35% is a lot for one player. And I'm curious and see.
I mean, does he score 35% of their points?
He scores way. He does way more than that.
So maybe he should get more.
Maybe when you break it down like that, he should probably. That's fine.
I mean, Dante Exum played 3 minutes last night. Give him 3%. I don't know. But 3% is probably, I don't know how much that is, but it's probably a couple million. That might be about what he gets.
Hey, there was a text that we were all a part of yesterday, and everybody was texting yes.
Yeah.
What was that about?
They asked us to respond yes or no to a question.
I didn't even see the question.
It was at the top.
No, it's not mine.
Yeah, mine was.
Okay.
I'll tell you
during
off
the
here.
break, show me.
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break. You're watching the Jessica Benson Show here on Grind City Media. We'll be right back in just a minute on the other side.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. That's why we're looking for team members to help us reshape the steel industry for a more sustainable tomorrow. Our edge starts with you at www.bigriversteel.com/join to join our dash team. That's www.bigriversteel.com/join to join our dash team.
Lindsey Harding has gotten a chance to interview for the Charlotte Hornets vacancy.
She's proven that she could coach on the men's side. She's done a fantastic job and got this G League opportunity and was Coach of the Year. This is fantastic for women's basketball.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's talk about MVPs.
Let's do it. I went with the Joker.
Oh my God,
Nikola
Nikola freaking Jokic.
Every time I watch him play, I'm so impressed.
I'm obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Everything he does works. He can pass, he can shoot, he can rebound, he can drive, he can defend. Like, he can do everything.
He can lead the fast break, and he's like 7-1.
IMHO with Lang Whitaker and me, Kelsey Wright Johnson, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You think Gigi's a lot better than you were at the same age?
Yeah. The dude did a step back double cross and went by somebody and dunked it. He's pulling it from 4-point line. Like, he's right though. I mean, there was a time in camp when he was like, less of what you're seeing, and that's just because his legs were gone because we're doing all this running, and then we got to play. Like, he doesn't know, like, the game isn't going to be like this.
The Chris Vernon Show, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I've cuddled a time or two in my life.
We are the right.
I've cuddled too. I've cuddled a time or two in my life.
We're the right heights. We're the right just
Yeah,
size
and I think sometimes you're cuddling and you're like, man, I don't know if this fits the right way.
Or I was with someone who had like a baseball injury once, and so like his arm couldn't handle, like he physically couldn't.
He had to say, I would love to cuddle you, but I tore my
can't.
rotator cuff.
I physically cannot.
What a wild deal.
The Gary Parrish Show, live weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Now for a limited time, the new $1.99 crispy tender wraps are here at Sonic. Who could deny a crispy chicken tender with bold flavors like hickory barbecue and cheesy Baja? And we can't forget the crisp lettuce and melty cheese to make the perfect bite. Wrap yourself up with some TLC, tender, love, and chicken for only $1.99. Sonic $1.99 crispy tender wraps. Tax not included, limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
Welcome back to the Jessica Benson Show here on Grind City Media. I'm Lang Whitaker along with CJ Hurt, and we just talked about the NBA action. There's some WNBA stuff happening right now, actually, in Toronto. There's some sort of announcement forthcoming. It sounds like we've heard rumors that the WNBA would be expanding to several cities. And in Toronto, apparently this morning, there's a press conference. Kyle Lowry and Drake are both in attendance. So maybe we're going to get a team
in Toronto. That's stuff doesn't usually break this early for us. We don't usually get breaking news. I should have a breaking news.
I guess it's
sounder
9:30 in Toronto. So maybe, first thing in the morning, lead the news for the day, get people talking about it all day.
Okay.
Something else people have been talking about a lot is, and this is reportedly.
Oh, wait a second. Let's let the song play so everybody knows. Yeah. This is being reported, y'all. It's a legend. Allegedly. Not saying it's true. Not saying it's false. It's reported, y'all.
It's like the fourth quarter of the SEC game.
Reportedly. It's alleged. Reported. We don't want no fines. We not trying to tamper. Allegedly. All right, Lane. Reporting the reports.
Reported is that the NBA has a new media
don't
rights deal
find
figured out.
For
Is it true? We don't know. It's just a report. It's alleged. But supposedly the new NBA media rights deal would include NBC, Amazon Prime, ESPN would still be involved. But the name you don't see there is Warner Brothers / TNT, which has led to a lot of people wondering, well, what happens with Warner Brothers and TNT? Because that would seem to suggest that would mean no more Inside the NBA, which is everyone's favorite NBA show of all time, which has been great for a very long time. CJ, what are your thoughts on this? You think we're losing this? What's going to happen?
I don't know.
We don't know. It's reported. It's alleged.
It's being reported, being alleged. I know people love that show very, very much, and it feels like from a sports viewing standpoint, losing that show would hurt a lot of sports fans. I hope that they find a way, somebody does, to keep it. I think Ernie Johnson has said he's not looking to leave Turner, which absolutely sucks. He's a big part of that show. All of them are huge parts of that show. It needs to be all of them as much as possible. And it's all, from the reports that I read, Turner can match. If Turner matches, Turner can keep the package.
Right.
But Turner
we don't know if they're going to match.
aren't going to match that. They're looking to pay, from what they're saying, they're looking at like $1.9 to $2.1 billion. That's what they're willing to pay. You've got NBC, I think, coming in willing to go 2.6 for the package that includes 2 primetime games a week and a conference finals. I think that's their package. And so if they don't match, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Could be the end.
It will be the end. It'll be the end. And there are a lot of good memories.
It's also weird because Turner runs like League Pass and the NBA app and NBA.com. Like that's all part of the Warner Brothers side of things too.
So who then runs that? Know. Would that fall to NBC? Would that be their responsibility?
Maybe they'll keep it. Maybe they'll bring it in-house. I don't know. Yeah. But we were talking about Inside the NBA, and I sent CJ this clip because when I was at Slam Magazine, I one night, during the playoffs, Inside the NBA is on every single night, late at night, and it would always end with EJ's Nito Stat of the Night, sponsored by no one. And I was watching it one night, and I knew the producer of Inside the NBA at the time, Tim Kiley, and so I one night, just no other reason, I emailed him, and I was like, hey, what if Slam Magazine sponsored the Stat of the Night? I was like, to be clear, we have no budget. We cannot pay for this. I just think it would be funny for one night to have a sponsor. He's like, all right, yeah, send me a logo. So we emailed Tim a logo for Slam. And that night on Inside the NBA, this is what happened.
It's time for
EJ's Nito Stat of the Night.
Sponsored by Slam Magazine.
Oh, wow. Our friend Lang Whitaker, Slam Magazine, sponsoring the Nito Stat of the Night. Lang, I owe you one, man. Thank you very much.
If you weren't such a loser, you could get a sponsor.
Lends great legitimacy to this edition of the Nito Stat of the Night. Yeah, you see the movie Anchorman?
No.
Ron Burgundy? Remember where they said, go ahead, put that in there. He'll read anything that's on the teleprompter. A teleprompter is the machine here. I mean, it's attached to the camera, and so you read script. So you're seeing some script there that they had Charles read for a T-Mobile spot at halftime after we got off the air.
Read anything.
Yeah, and so I saw that when I was getting ready for the show earlier tonight. I looked in there and I said, what's this for Charles? And I went, oh, let me just add a little something in here and see if he reads it. Roll it.
You're an idiot. Hey, this is Charles Barkley. I hope you're enjoying the NBA playoffs on TNT. And I hope you have enjoyed my T-Mobile Fave 5 list. I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, that happened, and I didn't know how they were going to use Slam. I didn't know I was going to get a shout out. I just thought it'd be funny to have it sponsored by Slam, and then that happened, and there was sort of a viral moment that now that happens all the time on that show. You know, that was sort of before social media even. Like that was so long ago Shaq wasn't even on the show. But now I feel like that show almost gets consumed more in social media than it does in real time. Yeah. Don't you think? Because it like happens at 2 in the morning, most of it. Like,
yeah, absolutely. And that's
you wake up the next day and you see all these clips.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons people like it is because of moments like that. Sports is supposed to be fun. We nerd it down way too much, and we get way too upset over the dumbest of things, the smallest of infractions, the unwritten rules of competition. We get bogged down into stats and those things way too much, and they can at times also. But of all the other shows, they're the ones that's having the most fun, and that's the spirit of sports and competition. It's supposed to be fun. You got Chuck and Shaq going back and forth. You've got Kenny racing everybody to the board. You've got Ernie cracking jokes and being dry with everybody, and it feels like and it seems like I'm not there. I'm not behind the scenes. A tell-all book could come out tomorrow and disprove everything I'm saying, but it feels like they all genuinely more than like one another. Like there's genuine love and appreciation for everybody on that set.
I think they respect each other.
Yeah,
like,
and that's so important for those
I've gotten
types
to
of shows.
hang out on behind the scenes. I worked for Turner for a while, and like I wrote a couple stories there about that crew, and I've hung out with them behind the scenes. I always tell people, like, people always ask, like, what was it like working with Shaq and Charles Barkley? Like, those two guys, the way they are on camera is exactly the way they are all the time.
They're genuine, yeah.
All the time. They're not, there's no difference when they're on camera and off camera. I don't even think they could act if they had to. I mean, we saw Shaq's movies. We know he can't act. But those guys are the same way all the time, and I think that's why it works. Like, they don't have to put on a show. Like, that's just who they are. And, I mean, Kenny's the same way, too. And Ernie, to be honest. Like, I guess they're all
what they – and listen, man, it would be sad to lose it. But, hey, pony up the money, man.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about the
money. Go pay it.
There's 2 NFL stories we want to get to. One was that the NFL –
Oh, wait. Hold on. What Jacob says that they matched. Hold on. Wait, start the music again. We got to let's fast forward to all of the other stuff. All right, so allegedly they matched.
Oh, okay.
2.3, they matched it, and the NBA asked for 2.8 billion now.
Allegedly,
reportedly. Not trying to get fined.
Does that change like the point of the segment we've done that they might not have inside the NBA anymore?
Well, yeah, because they
are going to match.
They've matched once. Okay, so now they've dropped out.
Right.
Thanks, Jacob.
Jacob's telling us various things. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
They matched. NBA asked for more, and then they dropped out, which is strange. If you're saying, Jacob, allegedly, reportedly, if you're saying that the ask was 2.3, they matched that, and the NBA pushed it to 2.8, and then they dropped out. Well, now it's at 2.6, right? So why wouldn't allegedly? Why would the NBA come down to 2.6 for NBC? That's confusing to me.
CJ, with that towel on your head and the hat, when I glance at the thing, you look like one of the wise men.
I am a wise man, Lane. Thank you.
James.
Yes. Is James a wise man?
I don't know.
That's who I am.
James Wiseman.
I'm coming. Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I'm coming through with the incense and myrrh. That's what I got, baby.
Frankincense and myrrh.
Is it frankincense? Yeah. Well, I got incense for you because those are a little bit cheaper. Let's make it work.
There's 2 NFL stories we want to get to. One involves Tennessee. Roger Goodell said yesterday that the NFL would maybe have a Super Bowl in Nashville. This is basically what he said, I believe. Spoke highly of the Titans fans in the new stadium, which isn't built yet. And he said a Super Bowl in Nashville would be very successful. Like, if he said it at Super Bowl, is there any city he would say, well, that Super Bowl would not be successful?
Yeah. Cleveland.
Why?
Like you've got to have the new stadium. You've got to have the weather in the stadium, right? And there's an interest in Nashville.
But I feel like the Super Bowl, like you can have the Super Bowl in Anchorage, Alaska, and it would be a big thing. Like it
would be big for Anchorage, but it wouldn't be big amongst all of the Super Bowls comparatively speaking. And I think
but we don't talk about Super Bowls like in terms of the city that had it.
Yeah, we do.
Like Super Bowl 51 when the Falcons blew it to the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't talk about Houston. We just talk about the game. You know what I mean? Like, we don't talk about the cities.
We don't talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, afterwards.
In the moment, we absolutely talk about the cities. We love talking about those cities. Leading up, Miami, Houston, Was there one in Vegas?
See, like we don't know.
L.A. like we talk about the cities leading up to it. The cities create the ambiance and the vibe for that year's event. And hell, if you want it to be good, you got to put in a good city. You got to put in a city people want to be in, and for whatever reason, people seem like they like being in Nashville. That draft was one of the best drafts in NFL history before Detroit came through. And with
I just
the
feel
new
like
stadium, like maybe it'll work.
Any
Well,
city
it'll
they
definitely
do it,
work.
any city where they have the draft or the Super Bowl, it's going to be successful. Like that, no one's going to complain about it.
Is it
in the
going to
moment.
be more successful than the other ones, though?
What's the measure?
The other ones are the measure.
Like no, but like,
that's-
how do we quantify
Detroit,
success? How do we say?
Detroit was the most successful draft in NFL history.
How do we know that,
because
though?
they had infinitely more people than everybody else. That's why. That's the measurement. How many people?
Just how
are
many
there?
people? That's
Just
all
how
we're
many
going
people,
for.
How many people and how much money are you
Well,
spending?
they have
how
it in
much
New York
money
City
are
every
advertisers
year, and
going
it
to
would be
spend?
the most successful. You know what I mean? Like because you just have more
wouldn't work.
people.
That wouldn't work because they did the draft in New York City every year, and then Nashville, Vegas, Detroit, and
Well, they had it indoors in New York City every year.
Okay.
That's the problem. Like
Well, so
if they
you
have
think
it
if they had it
outdoors in these
outdoors
other
in New York?
places. I'm just saying, if you have in any city that has a lot of people that have it outdoors, you're going to have a lot of people show up.
Okay.
So,
They
I
had
don't know.
it was a staple of New York for how long was the draft in New York?
Forever, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and so like it wasn't doing these types of numbers that we see it doing now, the draft, that we see it doing now on this rotating sort of basis. I think that's the measure.
Took it on the road.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll get a Super Bowl in Nashville.
Would you go?
If the Falcons make it. So
Okay.
no.
I mean, you wouldn't go just to hang out?
No.
Like take off on a Thursday.
I went to
hang
the
out
Super
Thursday,
Bowl.
Friday,
I went
Saturday?
to the Super Bowl in Houston when the Falcons played the Patriots,
Yeah.
and I experienced it. It was fine. Like I mean, it was sort of. I've been to a lot of NBA All-Star weekends. Like that feels a lot more accessible. The Super Bowl was so corporate and like buttoned up, and it was very hard. I went as a guest of one of the sponsors, so it was easier to like go to parties, do stuff. We went to like the Pepsi. Pepsi had a party the night before. It was like a big deal, and Bruno Mars performed. We got to go to that. And then like the day of the Super Bowl, like you can't just go tailgate. Like they have like an official tailgate at a place, and you know some country band performed, and like but you have to have a ticket for that. You have to have a ticket for all these different things. It's not like you just go chill, you know.
Yeah,
it's not
and
like
that's-
going to like the Ole Miss game on a Saturday where you just go hang out.
And
you
that's
know?
something that I would like to see them change. I understand you got to get money, fine, but the Super Bowl, like make it more accessible, like you said, for fans. We get really cool images from stadiums around the world for their various championships.
Yeah.
Soccer specifically,
Yeah.
basketball, also Euro Cup coming through, like those types of things. It's crazy, it's insane. Smoke is everywhere. You got flames
Fire.
being thrown. You got people
Yeah.
jumping up and down, shaking the stadium with their excitement for their team. We don't get a lot of that over here in those moments, at those things, from the Super Bowl to NBA Finals to the Final Four, men's and women's, because they become so corporate. Men's specifically, women's I think is fine. They get so corporate. You're just having corporations come in and buy everything up, and you're keeping the fans, the ones with the real passion for the two teams that are competing in this championship, you're keeping them out of it. I think it would create a much better environment from a competitive standpoint to allow actual fans to be able to get in there and enjoy the Super Bowl.
I do too.
It would be better.
But they're not. That's the toothpaste is out of the tube on that
But
one.
how many more seats do you need? These stadiums, the ones that are being built, they're going to have 60, 70,000 seats in there.
Yeah.
You're telling me you can't hold 35,000 of them? You can't do that? Half of them for
Yeah.
just regular Joe Blow fans?
No, because that's money.
That's money.
Yeah.
Like that sucks.
Speaking of the NFL, though, they also have announced that in the preseason this year, they're going to have an experiment with the chain gangs. We might say goodbye to the NFL chain gangs.
Well, they're doing this in the UFL.
Yeah, CJ is an expert on the UFL for the odds couple here on Grind City Media, but the NFL is going to test now doing it with I don't know, like robots, or I don't know how they do it.
They got it. So there's a chip in the ball.
Yeah.
And then where the chip lands, like that's where the ball, like, oh, the chip crossed the 29, the chip crossed the 30, the chip didn't cross the 31. Oh, put the ball down.
I mean, it
Between
seems
the
so
30 and
obvious
the
they should
31.
be doing this.
Yeah.
That we should have been doing this for a long time. They use like in tennis, they have like the Hawkeye system when the ball goes out of bounds. In minor league baseball now, they have it. I went to the Redbirds game last week, so they have a thing now, a challenge system where if a ball strike call comes in, and if you're the batter and or the pitcher and you disagree, you tap your head and you get 3 wrong challenges per game. Otherwise, you can challenge it all you want. And as soon as you challenge it, the umpire says there's a challenge. The scoreboard comes on. They put up the ball strike thing. They show exactly where the pitch was. Right, wrong, done. Keep going.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. It was actually really cool to see him do it. Like, if they can pull this off in the minors, you know it's coming to the majors, especially because the umpires are so terrible in Major League Baseball. But NFL, they should have been doing this for a long time, and I'm glad we don't have guys like standing 30 yards away on the sideline guessing where the ball crosses the line. Like, it's always so ridiculous on those plays.
And this is the benefit of having a minor league system. You can try out these rules. Like the G League has tried out a couple of rules for the NBA. You brought up minor league baseball trying out rules for Major League Baseball, and now the NFL's minor league system for the longest has been college football. Well, now it feels like there is another sort of minor league option for them to maybe not get players, but to get like some rules changes. And so there are a bunch of different things. There's a drone down there as well that is pretty cool. And part of the reason this spring football league is going to make it, I think, is because it serves as a testing ground for the NFL to try out new things.
What's the drone do?
It's just there. It's just a camera.
It's just camera footage?
It's really cool watching dudes run for a touchdown from like right here above their head.
Yeah.
And so that's what it does.
Maybe
it's
that's why they're running, because they think the thing.
It's a new camera.
They're afraid these flying blades are going to attack me as I run down the field.
But there are some other rules that are being tried out down there as well. And if it works, the NFL will bring it up. They do some really good things with challenges. In the UFL, formerly XFL, USFL, both of those, they merged UFL. They do some really cool things there. I'm looking forward to seeing what other rules the NFL decides to implement from the UFL.
Someone said in the chat the chain gang is getting replaced by AI, but I did read they're going to keep the chain gang just in case. They'll have them there. They'll still walk the sideline and do everything.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, just like in case the computer crashes or something, you got to have them there.
Got it. Because, like, Belichick is gone, Brady is gone. But New England will still cheat, right? Like, cheating is still going to happen. Somebody's going to hack into it and break it on purpose and figure out to
short yardage situations.
To tilt it more in the home team's favor. Then it's like, wait a second, let's go. NFL is full of a bunch of cheaters, and I love all 32 of them.
That'd be a good plot for a movie or something. Like the hacker who hacks into the NFL refereeing system or whatever. Yeah.
Which team? Which team is doing it?
Definitely the Patriots.
Even without Brady and Belichick.
The Saints or the Patriots.
The Saints is a good one. The Saints, they feel like they might
the Aints would do something.
They would do some nefarious stuff.
My son had the idea the other day, and it's a good idea, that the umpires in baseball, they wear the mask. He was like, why don't they have a little VR screen in there where they see the ball strike zone, and then, they can see from the front where the pitch comes in, if it's a ball or a strike. I was like, that's a great idea. I don't know why they don't do that. It seems like it'd be not that hard to do. And one of the Twins players, we talked about this on Infield Fly, the Grind City Media podcast this week.
When does that come out?
Every Monday. Carlos Correa from the Twins had the idea of, now the pitchers and the catchers have the PitchCom system where they signal in the pitch, and it verbally, or I guess audibly, tells the pitcher what pitch to throw. Correa said that the pitchers are so good now, and they cross up the batter so much that the umpires should also have the PitchCom so they know what pitch is coming. So they know, all right, this is a slider coming. He's trying to hit the outside corner. So the umpire has an idea of what pitch is coming a little bit more. So they're not caught off guard like the batters are so much, and they can, kind of have a little bit more of a sliding scale. I thought it was a pretty good idea.
I like that idea a lot. Honestly, I like both of them. I think that idea can be implemented like that, and the other one might take some time to figure out the technology. You got to get the screen the right size. You got to
do it where the batter can't hear it.
Yeah.
Because the pitcher has an actual speaker in the helmet in his hat that out loud says what the pitch is. So if the umpire has that, maybe the batter overhears it or something. I don't know. So anyway,
find a way. I mean, we've got earpieces, AirPods, and things of that nature, and you can have it in, and I can be right up next to you, and I'm trying to hold a conversation with you, and you're listening to music. You're
I saw a dude at the airport the other day wearing a headset, and it wasn't in his ears. It was on his head. And I looked it up, and there's some sort of it plays through your skull
temple,
or your bone or something, and apparently it sounds better than headphones.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I was like, there's no way that can sound better than headphones.
Every now and then, like music will be played, somebody will talk to me, and I'll put them up here, and I can hear just fine up here, but
not as well.
Not as
you can
not
hear
as well.
it, but
you can
not,
hear it,
yeah.
but not as. I'm not walking around with them up there. I'm interested in that now.
I was like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like maybe somebody finally revolutionized headphones. I don't know. There's one more story on this thing, but let's save it for after. Let's take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to do a draft. We're going to draft our favorite ballpark foods. I'm going to destroy CJ in this draft. Let's see in the chat. You guys got any tips, ideas? Throw them at us. But we'll be right back just a moment here on the Jessica Benson Show on Grind City Media.
Hey Grizzlies fans, after exciting hoops and a lucky night of gaming, where do you rest your head? Look no further than Southland Casino Hotel, proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies. Our high-rise hotel is the epitome of luxury and comfort. Picture this, you've just finished an evening of gaming and dining, so you head on over to one of our 300 rooms to end the night. Choose from standard, suite, and presidential suite, plus we're pet-friendly and offer mobility scooters for rent. It's a seamless experience for everyone. And don't miss the Main Street Exchange, right in the heart of our casino lobby. Whether you're craving a snack or need a souvenir of your stay, we've got you covered. From polo shirts to shot glasses, take a piece of the Southland excitement home with you. So come stay and play at Southland Casino Hotel, where every moment is designed for your enjoyment. Book your hotel stay by calling 833-703-3350 or visit online at southlandcasinohotel.com/hotel.
Guests must be 21 years of age or older to check in at hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by April 30th. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
This is an actual good shoe.
Yeah, it looks like
this
a good
is
shoe.
real good shoe. What you think about him, KJ?
She likes Cheetos.
Like Cheetos?
Yeah,
You like
nice.
Cheetos?
You like Cheetos?
For kids, yeah.
That's what I mean. For kids,
For kids,
1,000%.
yeah.
And honestly, if I was still playing basketball, I played in brightly colored shoes. I wore pink shoes a lot of the time or purple shoes. Like, I like that. The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
This week, we're looking at our favorite black sitcom. Mike, what do you got on your list?
It starts off with A Different World,
Okay.
the show that we're talking about.
I don't know. When's the last time you watched A Different World? Find it, watch it with the family. It is a phenomenal show, still to this day. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Heart Royal Flush Tour 2024. November 14th, FedEx Forum. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guests. Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Heart with Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Produced by AEG Presents.
Funny thing about gas, people constantly complain about the price of gas. Those same people that will complain about paying $2.80 for a gallon of gas
We'll drive
pay
right around the corner. Yeah.
$9 for a cup this big.
Yep. I am people.
Can you believe these gas prices? Give me a $12 cup of coffee.
I am those people.
It's wild out there, man.
The Gary Parrish Show, live weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back to the Jessica Benson Show here on Grind City Media. I'm Lang Whitaker. I'm here with CJ Hurt, and it's time for our draft. But before we get to the draft, CJ, we need to say goodbye to one of the greats, one of the goats,
a true throat goat, a legendary
goat.
Throat goat. Nothing slid down his throat better than a hot dog, than a glizzy. The way those glizzies went down my man's throat, there may never be another Kobiyashi.
Takeru Kobiyashi, one of the great eaters, competitive eaters.
Tremendous eater.
One of the best eaters the world has ever seen is retiring from the sport, from what we understand. We've seen some tweets about it. Kobayashi's had enough. Couldn't take it anymore. And now that leaves behind only one goat left, Joey Chestnut.
Another great eater.
Still
women
standing.
everywhere, and men also, but women everywhere are mourning the loss of this great eater.
There's Kobiyashi.
Kobiyashi won what?
Six straight.
And we looked before the show.
2001 through 2006.
And then that's when Chestnut comes through. 2007,
Yeah.
Chestnut comes through. They do an eat-off in 2008.
They had a 5-dog eat-off one year.
And then Chestnut has been on a tear. Every year since Kobayashi's reign, Kobiyashi was the first competitive eater that I remember sitting down to watch on 4th of July for the Nathan Hot Dogs eating competition. It was Kobiyashi, a true legend. But after that, after 06, Joey Chestnut has won every single eating competition but one.
Which one?
I think 2015.
Oh, you mean the hot dog competition?
Yeah, the hot dog.
Okay.
Every single hot dog.
He wins
Nathan's
other
hot
ones
dog
too,
eating
though.
competition,
We
but
saw
one.
like he won a bologna contest recently,
Yeah.
like the last week or two. Yeah,
But this
Chestnut's
isn't-
still out there doing it.
This isn't about Chestnut. Well, he'll
Yeah,
have
that's
his
true.
day. This is about
He'll have his
Kobiyashi.
day.
This is about Kobiyashi. Somebody responsible, instrumental in growing the sport of competitive eating in a way that few before him could or did. Shout out Kobiyashi.
We like to watch
just a tip of the
dominance.
hat.
We like to see someone who's able to dominate, and Kobiyashi dominate.
The way he gobbled the glizzies, the way they slid
Glizzy
down
gobbler.
the throat. A true glizzy goblin throat goat. Shout out Kobiyashi.
So that brings us to ballpark food because he's famous for eating the hot dogs, which is a ballpark food. And CJ and Jessica normally do a draft at this point of the week. So we're going to draft our favorite ballpark foods. Do you have like theme music for this or anything, CJ? Or no?
We do got a coin flip or a spinner, or we're duck racing.
Duck race. All right, let's go.
Let's go for the number one spot. I am down at the bottom, and I take a
Your duck looks like a bee.
lead. It does look like a bumblebee. I'm
mine
out
looks like a
front
pirate.
by a nose.
Let's go,
Oh,
pirate.
Lang is coming on strong. Lang is
5.
coming on
Oh,
strong.
no.
Come on
4,
now. Here we go.
3,
We're down the stretch.
2,
We're down the stretch. I got the final
1.
pick.
Oh, no.
First pick, hot dog. First pick. Nothing is better. Part of the reason hot dogs are one of my favorite foods is because when I eat a hot dog, it instantly transports me to being at a ballpark, because that's usually where I ate them as a kid. A little league ballpark, or in Clarksville, they had the minor league team, the Coyotes, which I think was somebody single A, maybe double A. I'm not sure what the affiliate was. It wasn't a good minor league team, right? It was a low level minor league. But we'd go. They had affordable food there. Let me get a hot dog. I love hot dogs. A hot dog at a ballpark is my favorite thing. I'm a glizzy gobbler. I'm not a throat goat, though. I cannot compete with Joey Chestnut or Kobiyashi, but I do loves me some good hot dogs. Give me a hot dog, first pick.
Sunday, I played golf with some of my buddies. It was hot. It was muggy. Sunday morning it was not comfortable outside. We hit the turn on the 9th hole, stopped at the clubhouse, got about 7 hot dogs. We all had a dog or two at the midway point. Yeah, it's like a great, perfect little, it's like 4 bites, like it's not too much. Get a little push of salt there, get you going, keep you going out there. Anyway.
Hot dogs 1.
CJ's going hot dog 1. So I'm going to go peanuts 1.
Okay.
Peanuts are a great ballpark food. In part because you don't really sit around the house and eat the peanuts, but also especially for baseball. Baseball games take a long time. And you can sit there, and peanuts give you something to do with your hands. They keep you busy. You're also allowed to throw it on the floor, which
that's
you
fun.
don't really get to do in many other, unless you're at that Roadhouse restaurant.
Yeah.
That's the only other place you're allowed to eat peanuts, shell them, and throw them on the floor. So I'll go peanuts for my number 1 pick.
Very few things are better.
Dry roasted.
Dry roasted.
They have to be salty.
Yeah, I love salty nuts, and I love handling nuts during ball games. That's great. Give me slushies, or what? Some type of frozen drink. What are we calling those? Are we calling those slushies, ices, whatever we're calling them?
I don't know.
Give it to me. because that is on a hot day. You can even make it alcoholic if you want to. I love it. It cools you down. You get to sip on it. It's got the sugar in it. It's got the cooling factor in it as well. Got the nice fruit-ish taste. It pairs nice with my salty hot dog. Get the salty hot dog with the sweetness of the frozen drink.
I feel like that's not a food.
Oh,
I'll let you have it.
We're food and drinks. Change it to food and drinks.
Well, in that case, I'll say one. But I'm going to go number 2, nachos. Okay. Helmet nachos.
Got to be in a helmet.
It's got to be
Everything
in a helmet.
has got to be in a helmet.
It's got to be served in some sort of a team, branded serving device, preferably plastic. I don't want the cardboard box. I don't want the styrofoam container. I want a helmet with nachos. Okay. Although one time I was at a baseball game in San Antonio, a AAA game during the NBA Finals in San Antonio. We went on an off night, and they had nachos. I can't remember what they were called. Frito pie.
Oh, yes.
And they gave you a bag of Fritos. They opened it up, and they put the cheese sauce and the chili inside it, and just gave you the whole Frito bag and a fork. You ate out of that. That was a pretty good serving device also. But helmet nachos is... Yeah.
Vernon loves that as well. I think the Grizzlies do
pie?
that. Yeah, do the bag of Fritos or Doritos with the toppings on the inside. I think the Hustle
Doritos would be pretty good.
Yeah. So when you take nachos, what are you putting on your nachos?
Definitely the cheese, and then, I mean, at a game, I don't want much more than the cheese, to be honest.
Okay.
Like the barbecue nachos, the rendezvous nachos at the game are awesome. But like if I'm at a baseball game or something like that and I have to use my hands and I'm walking around a lot, like I might just want just cheese. I don't get the jalapenos. I don't like the jalapenos.
It's too hot to be spicy.
Yeah.
Like
they look sad. They're like kind of like they're like a weird green color. They're not like the real color.
Almost red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look worn out. Like I don't want those
exhausted.
jalapenos. Yeah. They've been outside for too long.
So are barbecue nachos available? Or when you take nachos, you get barbecue nachos.
I get the whole thing.
You get all of the nachos.
Yeah.
So I took hot dog. Do I get brats also? Do I get brats, Italian sausages also? Are those different?
I feel like with nachos we're litigating the toppings.
Yes.
Brats and hot dogs are like separate things to me.
Give me brats, damn it. Was at Busch Stadium this weekend.
Yep.
Saw the Cardinals thriller on Saturday, and by thriller I mean they came alive in the 8th inning and beat the hell out of the Red Sox.
Yep.
It was a fun time. First time being at a Cardinals game. I think my 3rd Major League Baseball game ever. It was a whole lot of fun. The wife loved it. The Italian sausage and the brats at the Busch Stadium, new Busch Stadium, were incredible. And again, it gives me the same feeling of a hot dog, only a little bit thicker, right? A little bit more filling. And I love that about brats. I love that about those that food dish. Give me a thicker hot dog. Give me a thicker glizzy. I'm going to gobble it every time. Give me brats, number 3.
By the way, Cardinals swept the Orioles this week.
Did they sweep them?
Yes. First time the Orioles have been swept since 2016.
They've been bad. How is this the first time they've been swept?
The Orioles? I don't know.
Yeah.
They
were like
to win one or
historically
something.
bad.
Yeah, somehow they've had this record. I read it last night. And the Cardinals have been terrible like this season, and ever since Oli Marmol got thrown out of a game like a week and a half ago, they've been great. So who knows? All right, so we got two meats and an icy on your side. I got peanuts. I got nachos. I want something to drink. I'm gonna go with a Coke.
Oh, keeping it simple.
And here's the thing, though. I want it to be a little watery.
Okay.
Because I have very strong memories of when I was a kid going to Georgia football games, and the guys would walk around with the big trays full of Coke. And by the time they got to my seats, some of that ice had melted. It's a hot day. You want the ice to melt a little bit. So anyway, I want a Coke. I just want Coke. I don't want it in a bottle. I want a fountain Coke in a cup. Preferably a paper cup of some sort.
You need the paper.
I don't want like the giant plastic ones
give me
or
the
anything.
paper, Jordan.
I don't want a lid. I just want the paper cup and ice and a Coke.
Nice.
And also, like, all this other stuff we've got on this list is salty.
Yeah.
So, like, the Coke's, like, sweet and kind of gives
do you put peanuts in your Coke? Okay.
Have you ever tried that?
No.
So, my mom said when we were kids, we would go get a bottle of Coke and put peanuts in. So, my friend and I tried it one time.
Yeah.
We bought a thing of peanuts, poured it into the Coke, and drank/ate it. It was so weird. The texture is awful. Like it's like watery peanuts.
Oh, nothing worse than watery nuts.
It was terrible. So I don't know. People used to do that apparently, but there's a reason we've evolved past that.
Give me ice cream again.
Ice cream
In the helmet. It has
Helmet
to
ice
be
cream.
in the helmet though. And I'm not particularly I don't care what flavor it is, but on a hot day I like cool things. Ice cream, it's got to be simple though. You can give me a sherbet or sorbet, however we say that word.
Sorbet?
Give me that.
Sherbet.
Yeah, give me that one. Or you give me vanilla or chocolate. I don't need anything else fancy. Maybe throw some sprinkles on top. But give me ice cream out of the helmet. There are very few desserts better than that at a ballpark.
I hear you. I'm going to go with, I've kind of got some snacks up there, I guess. Like let's go meal right here. Chicken tenders.
Oh, I thought I could get it.
No.
Oh, what a damn good pick. Fourth pick.
Fourth round.
Eighth pick overall.
A steal.
Your fourth pick. Steal of the draft. Chicken tenders coming in at 4.
With fries? Do the fries count too?
No, fries don't count. Those are different things. Yeah.
Okay. Because so when we go to Grizzlies games, we work at the games, and they have dinner for us usually.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, by the time I finish my pregame responsibilities and go to eat dinner, they're out of food. So my go-to dinner is chicken tenders at the games, and you get the fries with it usually. So, and like a bowl of brown fried stuff, it's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Way to take it in. Anyway, I'm going chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders is a solid food option. If I was hoping I could get brats with my hot dogs and then go ice cream and then get chicken tenders for. I was hoping, but that's good. Let me get loaded tots. Again, out of the helmet. Out of the helmet. It has to be loaded and in the helmet. Tots with the cheese, your choice of ground beef or whatever chicken or barbecue meat, whatever they got there for you, sour cream. I will, Lang. I'm unlike you. I will take those sad-ass jalapenos also.
Okay.
Give me those on top as well. So good. Went to Busch Stadium again this weekend. Had the loaded tots because it's like, this looks delightful. This looks delicious. It's hearty. It's filling. It's good to go. I can eat that, drink my slushie, eat a hot dog about the 5th inning, and then right around 8th inning, get up there, grab some ice cream for dessert, call it a day. I'd go to bed a happy boy.
So for our last pick, I have a couple of options here, and I was thinking about popcorn. We haven't taken popcorn, but I feel like that's more of a movie thing than a sports thing.
We eat popcorn every time we come to a Grizzlies game, and
I do too.
Most of the time we go to AutoZone Park. We eat popcorn.
Popcorn's like my halftime thing usually.
Yeah.
So I mean, but popcorn, I've thought about that. Thought about Cracker Jacks because that's like a sports food.
I hadn't had Cracker Jacks since I was like 10 or 11.
Yeah, it's sweet too. That gives you dessert. I thought about Dippin' Dots, which is
that's
like
the one.
You only get at games.
That's the one.
But
that's the one.
I'm not going with those.
You're not gonna go with the Dippin' Dots?
I'm not going with any of those.
Dippin' Dots going undrafted?
It's going undrafted. It's going to be got to start in the G League and make its way up. I'm going the giant pretzel.
Oh, what a solid pick.
With salt.
What a solid pick.
With visible salt all over the outside.
No mustard or anything like that?
Sure.
Mustard. Okay.
I'll take some ballpark mustard with that or the cheese dipping sauce.
Cheese dip. Yeah. That's
But the
way
giant
to go.
pretzel somebody's got to take a giant pretzel with this.
So this is our draft, but before we read them off, Lane. No Dippin' Dots, no beer.
Yeah, beer didn't make it.
No beer. Me personally.
Cotton candy?
No cotton candy. I think beer is way too filling of a thing to consume at a ballpark, especially in the heat. You had one. No cotton candy, no beer, no Dippin' Dots.
Pizza?
No popcorn, no pizza.
Yeah.
Again, the reason I didn't take popcorn is a delightful snack, don't get me wrong, but the kernels get stuck in my teeth.
That's
and
the
I'm not trying to be hot and uncomfortable in the mouth. How am I going to gobble the glizzies with an uncomfortable mouth, Lane? I can't do that. I certainly can't handle the thickness of a brat with popcorn kernels in my mouth.
We got 3 helmet items.
Because the helmet is awesome, Lane.
Yeah, people love the helmets.
All right. Who picked first? I picked first. So here's my list. Hot dogs, slushy / ices, brats, helmet ice cream, and loaded tater tots. Lang?
I feel like the helmet tots, though.
Okay.
I think those should be, you don't want the helmet on that because you want to spread out the topping as much as possible.
I see what you're saying.
And the helmet's going to like backload it. Like you're going to have a lot of tots at the bottom that don't get the topping.
I hear what you're saying.
Unless you like stir it up,
stir it
which
up
is
a
kind of
little bit.
weird too.
Man, listen,
I don't
mind eating bottom tots. Bottom tots is fine. They don't have to all the tots don't have to have
bottom
the
tots
toppings.
get kind of oily though.
They are real oily. Listen, They were real oily at Busch Stadium once I got to the bottom.
Right, yeah.
They did a good job. They didn't have the helmets available. They had little boxes, so it was spread out like you were saying. They did a good job of spreading the toppings out evenly. But boy, once you got to the bottom, those bottom tops were real oily, real soggy.
They kind of catch all the
they catch all the juices and stuff and drippings. But I need the helmet. I just need the helmet.
Yeah, well, that's why I have helmet nachos. I got peanuts, helmet nachos. Then we got a Coke, just Coke, chicken tenders, and the giant pretzel. I went it's kind of like more traditional ballpark foods, I guess.
No hamburgers either. No hamburgers, no cheeseburgers.
I don't really think of those as like ballpark foods, I guess. Do you? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I do. I think hamburgers and hot dogs are one and the same. Wherever you're having a hot dog at, I think you can have a hamburger or a cheeseburger at also.
Now there's like weird stuff at games too. You can get like sushi and
crickets.
Yeah, that's been a big thing the last day or two. I've seen like people talk about eating crickets. I had crickets at a soccer game in Mexico one time.
Are they good?
They're all right.
Don't the Mariners do grasshoppers?
Might, yeah.
They either do grass. At least at one point, they were doing grasshoppers.
I feel like
or
those
crickets.
things are like like Dippin' Dots were sold to us as the ice cream of the future.
Yeah.
And now everyone says like crickets and grasshoppers are like the snack of the future because
Okay.
they're protein and they're sustainable. And
I mean, if you just break down the biology, the etymology, whatever you want to call it, of crickets and grasshoppers, they're just land shrimp. Like all shrimp is sea bugs, shrimp, crabs, lobster. They're just arachnids that didn't crawl their asses all the way out of the water, right?
I just don't. I mean, maybe I don't know enough about them.
Trust me.
I don't want to trust you.
Lane, I flunked out of pharmacy school twice. I know what I'm talking about. Trust me on that. That's all they are.
Yeah.
They're crustaceans and
Mud bugs.
arachnids and insects. They're all the same thing. One has more legs than the other. One lives in the water. Like, it's all fine. It's all the same. If you're comfortable eating shrimp, you have no problem eating crickets, grasshoppers, or other insects.
I guess.
Yeah. No, you're good.
I don't know. I tried them. They were fine. Like,
Okay.
I mean, mainly.
Were they
look,
meaty?
95% of this stuff is just a device to get salt into your mouth.
Yes.
So, like,
we love salt in our mouths.
Crickets, grasshoppers, whatever. Like, it's just put enough seasoning on them, they're gonna taste fine.
All right.
So,
Were they savory at all? Because some of these are savory.
Yeah, because they put all that salt on
Got
it.
you. Got
Like,
you.
you put MSG on anything, it's gonna taste pretty good.
Savory.
Yeah.
You got it.
So, all right, there's our draft. There's our ballpark food. We got one more segment coming back on the other side of this break. You're watching the Jessica Benson Show here on Grind City Media.
Looking for a full court dining experience? Dribble over to Southland Casino Hotel, your ultimate gaming oasis in West Memphis. As a proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies, we're inviting you to savor the flavors at our 8 incredible dining venues. Ignite Steakhouse is where culinary excellence gets grilled. Indulge in charcoal grilled steaks and farm-to-table favorites perfectly paired with wine or handcrafted cocktails. Enjoy an all-access buffet experience at the kitchens or revel in comfort food and southern classics at the Fry House. If casual is more your thing, sample the innovative fare at Seasons Cafe, while Chairman's Bar and Charred Oak Bourbon Bar serve up cocktails and live concerts every week. For those on the go, The Grind is your one-stop coffee shop with gourmet brews and grab-and-go goodies. And of course, we can't forget the Sports Bar and Grill, where you can catch all the Grizzlies action with the best pub fare in town. At Southland Casino Hotel, we've got the perfect dining experience for you, so come on down and ignite your taste buds today.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by April 30th. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Lindsey Harding has gotten a chance to interview for the Charlotte Hornets vacancy.
She's proven that she could coach on the men's side. She's done a fantastic job and got this G League opportunity and was coach of the year. This is fantastic for women's basketball.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You had 7 games where you had 5 assists or more. Do you know how many times prior to that in your NBA career you have had 5 assists in a game? Twice. How about that?
What, like,
You're playmaking, Jared.
go.
Playmaking, Jared.
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd's crazy.
Trip Kid.
Trip Kid is crazy.
The Chris Vernon Show, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Now for a limited time, the new $1.99 crispy tender wraps are here at Sonic. Who could deny a crispy chicken tender with bold flavors like hickory barbecue and cheesy Baja? And we can't forget the crisp lettuce and melty cheese to make the perfect bite. Wrap yourself up with some TLC, tender, love, and chicken for only $1.99. Sonic $1.99 crispy tender wraps. Tax not included, limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
Lionel Richie. And Earth, Wind, and Fire. Memphis. You're invited to sing a song all night long. For the first time ever, Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Together in one magical night you don't want to miss. FedEx Forum, May 29th. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Jessica Benson Show. I'm Lane Whitaker. We're here on Grind City Media. CJ Hurt is here as well. CJ, let's go over the poll results. We asked, what's your favorite ballpark food? The winner, it's pretty close. We had two that got the bulk of the votes. Nachos, 42%. Hot dogs, 38%. Chicken tenders, 12%. And popcorn, just 8%. So maybe we made the right call leaving popcorn out.
Maybe.
I'm surprised chicken tenders were that low, though.
While we all enjoy chicken tenders, right? Most of us enjoy a good chicken tender. I don't think a ballpark is a traditional way to enjoy the chicken tender.
What is the most traditional way to enjoy a chicken tender? It's a good question.
Huh. I would think at your house.
At home?
I would think you're grabbing it to go, or maybe at one of these chain restaurants, one of these casual dining chain restaurants.
I cook dinner at my house 5-6 nights a week, but I never make chicken tenders.
Yeah.
You only get them either at like one of those places like Raising Cane's, Guthrie's, those type of places that just specialize in chicken, Zaxby's.
Yeah.
You know, like that's about it. Really.
The places I've seen people get chicken tenders the most is at the sit down spot, like a Chili's, Applebee's, like sitting down, don't know what you want. Hey, let me get chicken tenders.
Yeah.
Like it's a great, I don't know what I want, but I know chicken tenders never let me down. Let me get some chicken tenders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Oh well.
Hey, it's Theater Thursday, which means we're going to talk about the theater. And usually Jessica is the big theater goer. She goes to a lot of plays and stuff like that. But we can talk about movies, theaters, other stuff. We start with talk about 50 Cent has a document about alleged Diddy abuse that has landed on Netflix.
Yeah. So Netflix outbid everybody for this. 50 had been on social media hinting at this, poking fun. When 50 Cent decides he doesn't like you, boy, boy, does he not like you. And so he had been getting his jokes off on social media. And I couldn't tell whether or not he was serious when all of the Diddy stuff broke with Cassidy or if he was just trolling. But it looked like he was serious, and there's going to be what I read was an R. Kelly style surviving Diddy type of thing. And if they can get the right people to talk, and people are talking now. People are way more comfortable sharing things.
Like there was a lawsuit filed yesterday against him.
And so it's not just the lawsuits, the people who are doing the suing.
The behind the scenes.
It's people who have been around Diddy, not maybe a part of the inner circle or close enough to the inner circle to have a good understanding about what has been going on. And there's a lot there to unpack. Don't forget, this is the same guy who, when he was named Puff Daddy, beat the hell out of at least one label exec because he didn't like the way he was portrayed in a music video featuring Nas, the Hate Me Now music video. They did the Jesus Christ thing. Diddy was like, hey, don't use that footage. They used it anyway. He went up there, beat dude with
Allegedly.
a gun. Well, we know that.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm just throwing it in there.
We'll say allegedly.
I don't want to be in this documentary.
We'll say allegedly. Don't forget the gun thing that got Shine thrown in jail. J-Lo was in the car. So somebody shot, and it wasn't J-Lo, and we don't think it was Shine. Who else could it have been? There's that thing as well. Remember when his son, we might have forgot because his son didn't play, but one of his kids went to UCLA to play football and then left. And allegedly the report was Diddy didn't like, because he was Diddy at the time, didn't like the way the trainer was talking to his son, went down there, and some stuff may or may not have popped off. Cassidy said he blew up, what's my man's name?
Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi's car. That there was an incident where they were in LA. He found out Suge Knight was at a club. He grabbed all his guns, grabbed his people, told them to get all their guns, and they went and drove to that club looking for Suge Knight. Like, there's some insane things that are being reported allegedly that we already know about. I can't wait to see all the things we don't already know about. This documentary is going to be full of interesting,
when you're going
frustrating
after, when you're going after
stuff.
Suge Knight, that's when you got to be like, all right, maybe we should draw the line somewhere here.
I mean, you could draw it at the Suge Knight thing. You could draw it at the raping of a bunch of women thing, because there's that stuff also.
Allegedly.
Well, listen. If enough people call you something, then damn it, you're that.
They should just call these the miniseries allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. That'd be the name for the
Allegedly
series.
Diddy.
Allegedly, with
Diddy.
whoever.
Yeah, I got you.
Pixar layoffs. Pixar has apparently laid off, I believe it's 12% of their staff. What's the last big Pixar movie? 14% of its workforce.
And that's the issue.
Inside Out 2?
Well, the issue is like the corporate greed, right? Like that's the main issue.
Sure.
You don't got to lay off this many people. You can find a way to take the pay cut at the top so everybody get it. But the last big one, the next big one is Pixar. Is Inside Out 2 is the next big one. That comes out this summer. Toy Story 5 is also is coming out sometime soon. I think the last big one might have been Elemental. I think Elemental brought in $500 million at the box office in movie theaters, and it's hard right now because you've got streaming to compete with, and you're trying to drop things in theaters as well. People with kids who these movies are for, maybe they feel more comfortable like just waiting on it to come to streaming and then watching it on streaming. But you're not getting the same type turnout in movie theaters for these movies like you once were. And they cited some of the movies that were released during the pandemic. It's like, hey, because these movies kind of didn't do well, and they didn't do well not because they weren't great movies, but because of the pandemic, it led to us having like a lower budget than what we were anticipating. We have to lay people off.
Yeah, but like these are movies like these are computer movies, right? Like, I mean, like the whole budget is just people. Like, you don't have sets, you don't have giant things, you're not building a town in the middle of a sound stage, all that stuff. Like a Pixar movie is just, I mean, it's just like you and I could make it on our computers, I would assume. Maybe not you and me.
If you and I could make it on our computer, we'd have way more money.
The last 5 Pixar movies: Soul,
great.
Luca,
great.
I didn't see that one. Turning Red,
good.
Lightyear.
That's the one that hurt them. Lightyear was the one because they thought it was going to be bigger than what it was, but unfortunately it wasn't. But that one was the one that came out during the pandemic. And what's the 5th?
Then Elemental.
Okay.
And then upcoming is Inside Out 2.
Going to be great.
June 14th. Elio, which
I'm not sure
that's
what
due in
that's about.
2025.
Okay.
Untitled film. Toy Story 5, 2026.
Yeah.
Elio is an American animated science fiction adventure film produced by Disney Pictures and Pixar. 11-year-old boy who accidentally becomes intergalactic ambassador of planet Earth.
Listen, Pixar gets the benefit of the doubt with me as far as like
Yeah, me
these
too.
movies go, because they've done so many great movies,
Yeah.
and even the ones like Lightyear, the ones that didn't do well
And more
in the
often-
box office, it was still I enjoyed watching it.
More often than not, their movies are outstanding.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll watch Toy Story 5. I'm emotionally I'm not ready for that, but all the other ones I'm looking forward to.
Was Toy Story 4 the one where they ended up like going down the trash compactor chute toward at the end of it, and they're holding hands, or the fire chute, or whatever?
That might be 3.
I don't remember which one that is.
That might be 3. They're holding hands because they think, that's 3.
They think they're dying.
They're escaping the daycare facility. They
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's all, that's 3.
I don't even think I saw Toy Story 4.
Hey, listen, I'm kind of ashamed to say it. I cried big old wet tears the way Toy Story 4 ended. Yeah.
Oh, I did see Toy Story 4 where they go to that fair outside. and there's-
They say goodbye. Sporky.
I think I might
remember
have-
what is
oh,
what
that's
is a
right,
toy?
Sporky.
What is existence? What I feel like trash. Why are you treating me like this?
I think I fell asleep at the end of that.
Oh no. Well, I didn't. I wish I did though, because it was real emotional watching them say goodbye.
What else are we watching? There's a movie coming out this weekend I want to see.
Which one?
Furiosa.
Yeah.
The Mad Max thing. Did you see the last one, Mad Max Fury Road?
I loved it.
I did too.
I loved it.
Now, I never saw the original Mad
Neither
Max
have I.
with Mel Gibson.
Neither have I.
But when the last one came out, I saw it in the theater, not really knowing anything about it, not expecting much. But a friend of mine had seen it to write a magazine story about it, and said it's basically like a 2-hour chase scene through the desert. So I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I'm in. I went and saw it, and I was like, this thing is badass. Like, that movie was so much fun. So I'm excited about this Furiosa.
And that it's the prequel to Fury Road, right? Because we meet Furiosa already just badass.
Yeah.
And this one is young Furiosa trying to figure out some things. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. I don't watch any trailers. I don't read anything about movies I really want to see.
Yeah.
Because I want to just walk in, see it, and have nothing spoiled, nothing ruined for me. But if you're telling me Furiosa's in a Mad Max, I'm telling you, you can have my money.
Did you
And
see-
seeing it in IMAX? Oh yeah, that's gonna be incredible.
Did you see Dune 2?
No.
So I didn't see Dune 1. I saw Dune 2 in IMAX at the theater. And the whole time I was like, this feels a lot like the Fury Road movie.
Okay.
Because they're in the desert, there's sand blowing around. You know, it's very, to me, it's very similar.
Apocalyptic, right?
Yeah, like post-apocalyptic
Gotcha.
something. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I slept through about half of that one too. I mean, once you become a dad, you start sleeping through movies way more often, and it's kind of awesome. Like, that's one of the best sleeps you get. Is in that movie theater. I slept through Dune 2, and there's like the theater shaking, the seats are moving, and everything. I was out.
Nice. I tried to watch Dune. Didn't make it through Dune. I
didn't either.
I fell asleep in Dune.
I was on an airplane. I tried to watch Dune, and that's when you like can't escape. And I turned it off after 20 minutes. I was like, I cannot watch this. Dune 2 is really good though.
Okay.
It was good. But yeah, Furiosa comes out this week. Is there anything else we're watching?
I watched because it came to streaming a while back, and I was like, oh, okay. When it comes to streaming, I'll watch it. Didn't go to theaters to see it because I'm skeptical about Sony superhero movies, and I'm skeptical about Dakota. What's her name? Dakota Johnson.
Okay.
The one from 50
Grey,
Shades of Grey.
Grey,
Yeah. I'm skeptical about her acting. And people were just telling me how bad Madam Web were. People were telling me personally, and then read some things on social, read some articles about how bad it was. It's like, okay, I won't go see it in theaters, and I'll watch it when it comes to streaming. And they did that movie and the badness of that movie a grave disservice. Whatever you read about how bad Madam Web is, it's all wrong. It's infinitely worse. It is a terrible movie. Dakota Johnson can't act. Sydney Sweeney can't act. The writing in that movie was appalling. It was atrocious. I
Now I kinda
hated
wanna see it.
watching. Oh God, don't. I did make it through the movie. I did not make it through Morbius, one of those other Sony superheroes like they're trying to do something with the Spider-Man universe on Sony, and the live action stuff outside of the first Venom and maybe the second Venom wasn't horrible. So outside of those two, the other two have been garbage. Awful, and I hate that I sat through that movie. That's how bad, and I'm me. Right, like that movie was hot trash. It was terrible. I have no expert critique of it. I can't break down, and I'm not going to sit here and break down the camera angles and the lighting and all that other hoity-toity stuff that comes with a movie. You sit down, you watch a movie, and immediately you know whether that movie is good or bad. And I'm telling you, within the first 5 or 10 minutes, like, oh, this movie is going to be hot shit. It's going to be terrible. They do this thing where they are, spoiler alert, coming, but it is Madam Web, and so she is something, right? But she starts off as like an EMT. And so you find out, like, oh, her partner's name is Ben Parker. And if you know about Spider-Man, you know that's Uncle Ben. And Uncle Ben hints at having a new girlfriend, but will not say the new girlfriend's name. Now, I'm not sure if that's because they're trying to play coy with Aunt May or if they don't have access to that character. I would assume they'd have access to the Aunt May character, but they're like, no, we're not going to say Aunt May's name. Then Uncle Ben's sister is pregnant. Who is she pregnant with? We don't know the name of the child because weird things start happening before they tell us the name, but we can assume that that name is Peter, right? Outside of those two things, outside of, Uncle Ben, Aunt May, Peter Parker, outside of those things, the movie is trash.
I don't want to see it.
And don't go see it. It's
the other
horrible.
one I kind of want to go see is If. Imaginary Friends.
You're the only one I heard who said that.
Well, I have a kid, so my son probably wants to go see it.
Okay.
It's John Krasinski from the, he did the Stay Quiet. What are those movies? The
Quiet Place?
Quiet Place, yeah. But so he's like a good director, good actor, all that stuff. I'm sure they're pretty good.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds is in it. Speaking of Ryan Reynolds,
Steve Carell is in that.
The voice
like
of
they've got, I think Key is in it as well.
There's
like
a bunch of people. The cast is really good.
They've got loaded people.
His wife,
being
I think,
the
is
voices.
in it. Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
I want to see that. What's this one? Oh, Challengers just came out. Fall Guy. I've been watching, speaking of Ryan Reynolds, my son and I started watching Welcome to Wrexham, which is on Disney Plus / Hulu.
Okay.
It's about Ryan Reynolds and the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia buying the Wrexham football team. And they're trying to go from like the 4th level to the Premier League. And they don't really know much about running a football team, so it's kind of funny to watch them.
Yeah.
Like I just saw the episode last night where they spent $100,000 to get a new grass field, and it didn't work. And they had to spend another $200,000 to take it out and put a new one in. Again.
Is that a movie or a TV show?
It's a TV show.
Okay.
But there's like 40 episodes. There's a ton of episodes of it. So like we just started. And
you're excited about that If Ryan Reynolds movie. I'm excited about Deadpool that's coming up here later in the summer. Deadpool and Bad Boys 4. More bad.
I saw the
badder.
preview for that last night during the NBA.
Yeah.
Is that the first Will Smith thing since he punched Chris Rock?
It's the first one that they've released in the theaters. Remember, he had that that slavery movie, that escape from slavery movie, that I think went to Apple TV. And that was supposed to be like an Oscar.
Emancipation. 2002, yeah.
That was supposed to be the Oscar-worthy movie for him, another one of those type movies for him. But
he's been laying low, basically.
He had slapped the hell out of Chris Rock. And so they were like, no, we can't nominate him for this. But he's making his appearances. He performed at Coachella this year.
Will Smith did?
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He did
that's
Men in
actually
Black.
probably smart for him to if he does like a DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince reunion.
Well, he didn't do that. He did Men in Black. I'm
if he
pretty
showed
sure
up and did Parents Just Don't Understand at one of these things, like that would the nostalgia would kick in. People would be excited to see him. It would probably help.
It's been long enough.
You think?
Yeah, it's been long. It's been what, 2 years, 3 years now?
Yeah.
How long?
It was 20. It was 2020. Well, he
21.
21's when he did King Richard, and that's what he got nominated for. So it might have been the 22 Oscars, but yeah. It's a couple years.
Yeah, but he's back. They were working on this before the slap happened, though. Like they had announced they were going to do this before the slap happened.
Yeah.
And so maybe this will be the one that gets Will Smith back in everybody's good graces.
I hope they bring back Taya Leone too.
Who's that?
She was in Bad Boys 1. She was the woman in Bad Boys 1.
Oh,
remember?
the annoying mom from Spanglish.
Yeah,
Okay.
she did a bunch of other stuff after that. But,
Okay.
I don't think I saw this is Bad Boys 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad Boys 3 wasn't that great.
Yeah, no.
I
gotta pass that one.
Yeah, leave that alone. Bad Boys 1 and 2 are classic buddy movies, though. I love those.
Those are great. All right, we made it through Thursday morning. We're going to be back here tomorrow morning with lots of other stuff to talk about. If you stick around on Grind City Media today, half an hour Gary Parrish show, 12 o'clock Chris Vernon show. No odds couple today. I think we're back next week. And then CJ and I are going to be back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, to get you into the weekend. Appreciate you hanging out with us. This is fun. I always like sitting in. Jess, we miss you. See you soon. See all y'all back here tomorrow morning. You're watching the Jessica Benson show here on Grind City Media.